Hello and welcome to this new video which comes from the Paignton and Kingswear Heritage Railway, steam railway. It's operated today by Dart Valley Railways Limited, and in all the years I've lived in Devon I've never travelled it, so I'm really looking forward to this trip today. And the line was constructed between 1859 and opened to passengers in 1864 by the GWR, and it transferred over to Heritage in 1972. And it's very popular, it's very busy line today. And Dartmouth is just across the other side of the river. This is the Kingswear side, and the railway runs for just over, I think it's 6.5 to 7 miles along the original GWR line, and it's very well maintained, this, so it's able to cater for very heavy trains, very heavy steam trains. And I know they also get a lot of excursions coming down here during the summer months, and obviously that is their peak time for operations. But it's a beautiful day and I'm really looking forward to travelling this railway and learning more about it, and I hope you enjoy the video.
The Dartmouth Steam Railway begins at Paignton, and despite its name it doesn't actually stop in Dartmouth, but it stops here at Kingswear, which is on the opposite side of the River Dart. One of the things that visitors really enjoy about visiting this part of South Devon is the famous round robin ticket, which includes the steam train from Paignton to Kingswear, followed by the ferry across the River Dart to Dartmouth, a boat trip along the river to Totnes, and then an open-top bus back to Paignton. The scenery on this picturesque line is breathtaking, and just after leaving Paignton station you get your first glimpse of the English Riviera coastline. This is Godrington Sands, and I would have liked to have got off the train here at Godrington station, but sadly the train doesn't stop here. In fact, since COVID, the train doesn't stop at any of the intermediate stations at Godrington, Churston and also Greenway Halt. The station here at Kingswear dates to the mid-1840s, and I was really struck by this rectangular building. It really is very striking, beautiful architecture. And the station has a ticket office, waiting room and offices, and the platforms themselves are behind the main building, and they're covered with a train shed at the southern end. You get a very good view of the station from this elevated position, and if I pan the camera in towards the platforms, you can see this conventional canopy which extends along part of the platform, and also at the far end this very rare wooden train shed. And there's only 3 of this particular type remaining in the country, with the other 2 being at Frome in Somerset and at Ashburton in Devon. The signal box here at the station was constructed in a style that replicates a typical GWR signal box back in the day, and these days it's the home to the railway's office accommodation. Sadly, this Devon Bell observation car wasn't in service today, which is a great shame because there was only 2 of these ever built, and they were numbered 13 and 14, which seems a little bit strange as there were only 2 of them built. There must be a reason for this. It was originally built in 1917 as an ambulance vehicle for the London and North Western Railway, and the coach was entirely rebuilt with a new body in 1921 as a Pullman coach. On the 7-mile journey between Paignton and Kingswear, there are 3 different types of scenery. There's the sea, the countryside, and here at Kingswear, it's the River Dart. I'm going to hop on board the ferry to take the short journey across the River Dart to the historic town of Dartmouth. You get a really good view of the railway from this side of the river, but I've come across to Dartmouth because it's home to one of the most peculiar railway buildings in Britain. Back in the middle of the 19th century, the great engineer Isambard Kingdom Brunel built the South Devon Railway, bringing trains to Torquay and Plymouth. But Dartmouth, itself an important maritime port, was left totally isolated from the railway network. Brunel had felt that Torquay was as far as the railway needed to go, but a local entrepreneur, Charles Seale-Hayne, was having none of that. Dartmouth had to be served by the railway, and it had to have connections with the rest of the country, as it was a very important trading port. In 1857, Seale-Hayne formed the Dartmouth and Torbay Railway Company, with the aim of extending the railway from Torquay to Dartmouth, and he engaged Brunel to design the line. A railway station was built at Dartmouth, and the line celebrated its grand opening on the 16th of August 1864. But no trains pulled into Dartmouth station because Seal Hayne's plans had one fatal flaw. In order to get to Dartmouth, the new railway line needed to cross the River Dart about 1.5 miles upstream at Greenway, and Brunel had intended to build a bridge to carry the railway from Torquay to Dartmouth. But with the River Dart being a navigable waterway, the admiralty objected, and so Brunel and Seal Hayne were forced to bring the railway to Kingswear instead. Dartmouth station was left stranded on the opposite side of the river. Despite only ever having been served by ferries, Dartmouth was still classed for ticketing purposes as a railway station. The building didn't just look like a railway station, it operated like one too. It had a station master, porters, and you could buy a ticket here to travel anywhere in the country from Dartmouth railway station, except it never had a train. Today, the building is Grade 2 listed, and it houses a cafe and a bistro. The building is very much in keeping with the design of the other buildings on the Dartmouth and Torbay line. It's classic railway architecture. Look at the steelwork and just look at the roof. In every way, shape or form, it was a railway station. The line was sold by British Rail in 1972, and it operates today as a heritage steam railway, where you can still get a ferry over the River Dart, included in the price of your ticket. And it just goes to show that where there's a will, there's a railway.
Yes. Well, it's in your way out and you come to the 13 miles from it, you come to Casey and you come to the Wolds. Yeah. And then it goes flat. You get to Boston and it's flat.
Well, it's a beautiful railway, and the line is a stunning mix of coastal vistas. There's the river estuary here at Kingswear. The line has steep gradients in places. There's beautiful viaducts and the tunnel at Greenway, all culminating in the historic town of Dartmouth, built on the banks of the beautiful River Dart. Join me next time when I'll be walking Brunel's atmospheric railway. Brunel will probably best be remembered for his bridge building, but not all of his innovations were successful. His idea was to use an atmospheric system of propulsion instead of a steam locomotive. This involved the installation of a pipe about 3 inches in diameter along the middle of the track, and there were steam pumping stations located at intervals along the line, which created a vacuum, effectively sucking the train along the line at speeds of up to 70 miles per hour. However, the scheme was a costly failure, and I'll be finding out why. My journey will begin here on the beautiful estuary at Star Cross, where I'll be making my way to the holiday hotspot of Dawlish Warren on the Great Western Main Line. From there, I'll be taking a stroll of about 2 miles alongside one of my favourite stretches of railway, right along the seawall to Dawlish. I'll be stopping off at the very spot where, back on the 4th and 5th of February 2014, a devastating storm battered the South Devon coastline at Dawlish, breaching part of the seawall and taking with it around 80 metres of rail track. The whole of the railway to the south of Exeter, connecting to the English Riviera to Plymouth and the whole of Cornwall, was cut off for 50 days. As well as seeing a number of scheduled services, we were also treated to the Torbay Riviera Pullman 43055 and 43059 en route from Crewe to Paignton. Join me for a journey along one of the most scenic stretches of railway in Britain in the next video.